Look alive, ladies and gentlemen. We are the Billy Goats, episode 394, May 3rd, 2026. Let us be the first to wish you and yours a happy National Star Wars Day, ladies and gentlemen. This is a little bit different than we're normally used to doing. We're going to do a live show for everybody listening to the podcast. We appreciate you listening to the podcast. And I'm currently on vacation with Tex, so a little bit different format today from the up-to-date sports show that we typically do. We have a very special guest on today. One of my friends that I've met online, one of the best ones on here. He does a lot of football content. He is a man who puts out so many different social media posts that get humongous numbers, asked really great NFL questions. He's a lifelong Packers fan. He does I think he does one show every night or every week. NFL content creator and podcaster, Fridays at 9 p.m. The Fun Football Podcast. Isaac Valenti, welcome back to the show, my friend.
What's up, man?
Great to have you on.
Yeah, the NFL draft was a blast. We covered a lot of it. Me and my co-host Med. It was a weird night without a first rounder, but you know what? It's been a weird offseason. We'll get into it, but yeah, man, I'm kind of getting excited for football season. I've been enjoying the NBA actually a lot recently.
Yeah,
but went and watched that Celtics implosion last night.
What a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, I get not playing Tatum, but I feel like they played right into the Sixers' hands. That was crazy to watch. And now I'm actually excited. I think I'm going to watch the Pistons Game 7 today, and that's going to be cool. And the Cavs. So, but I'm starting to get excited for NFL again. I'm hoping, I hope the summer goes quick because I'm ready to,
Well, that's the thing. Like, you get the draft. Like, that's what we're going to talk about today. Is we brought you on because you love football just as much as we do, and you know a lot about football, and you talk a lot about football every week. And it's one of those things where when the draft happens, you just want to keep talking about football because we miss football.
I know.
We fill the airwaves with sports shenanigans, and we watch hockey playoffs, and we watch the NBA some, and we had the Kentucky Derby yesterday, which was absolutely insane. The what's his face Golden Tempo comes back from last.
Yeah, and I saw that, and I actually went horse racing for the first time in my life Friday night, and it was a freaking blast in Texas.
I think so.
It was a lot of fun. I lost a little bit, but I hit on some winners early on, and it was a great time. I want to go do it again. It was a lot of fun, and it was the night before the Kentucky Derby, and then I got to watch that yesterday too. It was pretty cool.
Insane. Yeah, like the horse that fell over before, they had to get everybody out of the gates, and then all the hats, and it's just I don't know. It's hard to describe. Like, my family and I was building it up. Like, I had my in-laws in town, and I was like, we're all going to pick horses, and we're going to watch this race. The horse I picked finished dead last, which was hilarious. It was he was up in the top 5, and I'm like, here we go. And he made the turn on the last final stretch, and he ran completely. I'm not talking like got last. I'm talking was 50 horse lengths behind. Like, he wasn't even in the picture. So
good pick.
Right. I knew whenever. So they were showing the horses before they came down, and my horse is going sideways, and I look at everybody in my family. I'm like, we're in trouble. Like, this, why is he going sideways down the track? Like, we haven't even started the race, and the guy's going the wrong way. This guy doesn't even know where to go.
And I missed it because I was away on my birthday weekend. I can tell you about later. But I watched the replay and I heard all about it. But you must have loved the Masters with Rory repeating. That is freaking legit. Can you imagine the ratings they're going to get if this guy is in contention next year for the three-peat?
Oh, my God.
And what they pulled off this year, because it's the next best thing to Tiger playing, which I hope we get again, but he's got some issues he's got to work out. And physically, who knows? But he pulled it off in his mid-40s a few years back. So who knows? I don't think so, but you never know. Maybe he can get his body straight in his mind and, all his personal stuff. But compared to him being in the final day, I think what we had this year was, with a repeat with somebody that everybody loves, was one of the best things you can get. And Scotty was coming, and he still pulled it off. And that was the mental thing. I wasn't sure if he was going to be able to do it, and he did. That was really cool.
Yeah, the Masters.
Not football, but golf. I like golf too. So
the Masters is the best. Like, it is the
absolute
best.
It is the Super Bowl of golf. The British is amazing. That is such a cool tournament. But even that, when it's great, I don't think compares to the Masters. And the U.S. Open's fun too. And
Well, I think we did a ranking of like what are the coolest like events of like in sports, like where do we put the Super Bowl? I think the Super Bowl, unless your team's playing in it, is kind of cool, but it's not up there. Like it's not up there with the Masters to me. It's not up there with the Kentucky Derby's phenomenal. Like there's a couple of things like I love the Super Bowl, but they've made it so corporate that it's just unless my team's playing it, it's kind of okay, but it doesn't have the same vibe as most of the other games.
I love it because it's the last game I'm going to get.
Right.
But I sort of get it.
They know that, though. See, they can do whatever they want.
When it's close, I like it. I love Game 7s. You can give me a Game 7 NBA Finals Stanley Cup when you get a good one, like with good teams. Like, imagine if LeBron like went to Golden State or if the Lakers finished building that roster and you have like Lakers, Celtics, something like that's awesome. This year, the Western Conference Finals are going to be the NBA Finals, basically, I think.
Yeah, the Spurs and the Thunder.
Oh, that's going to be legit. I can't wait. Wemby versus the Thunder. That's going to be good. But you're right. The Kentucky Derby is awesome. Man, there's so many fun.
The Masters, like you said, a Game 7, like the U.S. Gold hockey game. Are you kidding me? Give me anything with USA. I'm all in.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of sporting events where you're just like, you have to. That's what I tell my wife. She's like, what are we going to do this weekend? And whenever the Masters are on, I was like, we're watching the Masters. I don't know what you're talking about. That's what we're doing.
I'm not a big baseball guy, but opening day is kind of special. I might go next year.
Opening day is cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm not a big baseball guy, but I love going to baseball games. I don't know what it is. When I moved to Arizona from Michigan, I was in 6th grade, and my dad took me, and it was either that year or the next year, and I still have a memory. I was in the outfield. We were, waiting for a home run, and there was one close. And there was a guy heckling Sammy Sosa, and I still remember it. And he was telling Sammy to back up. He's going to get burned. Then within that inning, he had to make a running forward diving catch, and he looked back at the heckler. And not only that, I remember that for the rest of my life, but there was a home run like one row over, like 5 seats over. I almost tried to like jump over people for it. So, and that was at the Diamondback Stadium, which isn't even the best stadium. The Rangers' old stadium was awesome. And I'm not even a big baseball guy.
I remember the Rangers' old stadium.
Yeah. I'm thinking with my dad, the Rangers' old stadium's legit. I haven't even gone to the new one.
I used to play that game. I used to play at that stadium all the time on, I think it was MLB 2005 and play home run derby in that stadium. It was the coolest stadium, I thought.
It is. And in The Rookie, one of the movies I love with Dennis Quaid, they had that stadium because he goes and plays for the Rangers. It was just such a cool stadium. I've always wanted to see Red Sox Stadium, the Yankees. I've seen Wrigley in person as a kid. The opening weekend of football, there's something special about it. I think that means more to me than the Super Bowl, the first games, because you finally are back. College football, I've been to some college football games. Those are freaking epic, too.
I love Thanksgiving Day football, too, man.
Oh, yeah. Dude, yeah, Thanksgiving football.
There's so much. I mean, even though the games have sucked the last few years, but there's just something about, like, being around your family, Thanksgiving, football, and it's just part of the day. It's the best.
Absolutely. Because I know we're out of time. So I'm excited to talk about the NFC North had a really interesting draft. I can't wait to talk about it. There were some teams that were big winners, man. I thought I actually thought the Cowboys had a hell of a draft.
I can't say that's, you'll see in the draft grades what I put on there. Like I couldn't, don't tell. I mean, we have 2 Cowboys fans on our show. So I know a lot of everybody knows a lot of Cowboys fans. You can't give them anything. You can't be objective with them at all, because then they'll look at you dead in the face and they'll be like, "Hey, it's our year. This is we're finally back."
That's what I'm excited to get away from, because even the Cardinals fans aren't even delusional enough to tell me that.
No. Yes, yeah, you're right.
And I liked their pick. I love Jeremiah Love.
I do too.
I want to go see him this fall. If Marvin Harrison Jr. can figure it out, you've got an offense that's going to be fun.
Oh, with Trey McBride.
Yeah, you get the makings of an offense.
Even Wilson, the receiver.
Exactly.
He's a pretty nice piece. So
I have a buddy who's a trade. We play Dynasty, and he traded my dad a first for Trey Benson, and he's pissed now because they signed Algier, and then they drafted.
Well, Tyler Algier's pissed too, because he thought he's like, I'm going to be the lead back. It's like, dude, did you not know James Conner's on the team? Like, what did you think, dude?
Now they're stacked at running back,
which is in a league where it's like, hey, man, like you. I don't know what they're doing.
I actually traded a Titan away. I had Shamir DK, and I have A.O. Maynard,
Oh, really?
and they drafted Cardinal just as flyers. I'm trying to rebuild my team. I traded Jonathan Taylor away. I got Hampton and a couple firsts. So I've got the 6th pick.
I like Omarion Hampton.
I liked Hampton and I love Taylor, but he does get injured every now and then.
Yeah.
And
last year was an anomaly.
And I traded Saquon away for a couple of seconds because I just don't know if I don't love where the direction Philly's going.
Yeah.
But
no.
But
put all their eggs in Jalen Hurts' basket,
exactly. When the Titans drafted Cardinal Tate and they signed Wendell Robinson, I was like,
I like Wendell Robinson.
Me too.
Love
and I was
Wendell
like,
Robinson.
My receivers are going to suck there. So, probably time to part with at least one of them. If the Raiders hit on German, however you say his first name, McCoy, if he gets healthy.
Oh, yeah, the corner.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
They still need. Yeah. Sorry. You can. Yeah.
Let's pull up some stuff here and let's just get into it, dude. Like that's what this show is about. Like we love to talk, and you and I talk football, and we could talk about a puddle for an hour, you and I, about what that means. And that's what I love about having you on. That's why we've come in contact, and like I know my intro is shaky because I'm so used to our music going and everything else. I'm sitting here, but this is you, man. You've built up a huge following on a lot of social medias. You do great numbers with all your posts. You have fun posts. This is, where people can find you on Twitter, at least, is at Fun Football Pod.
That's my handle for most of them. It's either Fun Football Pod or Fun Football Podcast. I started on Twitch, but I do live shows. Recently, it's been Wednesdays, but I do one a week. It goes live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Fun Football Podcast. I do shorts on TikTok and Instagram too, but I do post daily on there. I'll throw one out later, but I did like a Josh Allen one the other day. That was fun.
That was fun.
I did a Jerome Bettis post with Marshawn Lynch. I always like those. But I do draft stuff. Every show.
Fantasy football.
Yeah, I talk some fantasy, Packers. I just do a variety of stuff.
Yeah.
My buddy from South Carolina does it with me. Sometimes my dad comes on. I bring this week we're bringing a guy on. This is kind of excited for this. And I'm going to start making posts on it today. You'll like this. We're going to do a top 10 NFL players strictly of the 1990s.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that's going to be cool. Like, where does Barry fall? Where does Brett Favre fall? Reggie White. Lawrence Taylor was kind of more 80s. Jerry Rice, still great in the night.
Jerry Rice.
Emmitt Smith. Dion.
Yeah.
That's going to be an interesting list. Like, where do they fall? Aikman probably has to be somewhere on there, even though I don't think he was, I think Michael Irvin and Emmitt Smith meant more to that.
Was Troy Aikman Brock Purdy before Brock Purdy was Brock Purdy?
Kind of. That defense was pretty legit, right? You got John Elway, Terrell Davis is probably need to mention on that list in the 90s.
I love Terrell Davis. He was so good in the early Madden games, dude.
Oh, and that Apex was in the 90s.
Yeah.
So, like, where does he fall? There's some other great defensive players, too. You got Bruce Smith going in the 90s.
Steve Atwater, was he 90s?
I think he was 90s. Lott was more 80s.
Yeah.
He played in the early 90s, but it's strictly 90s. If they played in the 90s and had a few Pro Bowls, they're going to get some honorable mentions, but that's going to be a tough list.
Yeah, that'll be fun, though. Like, to see stuff like that. Like, we're football guys. Like, we just make lists about how can I make more lists about more football. Like, that's what
exactly.
It's about. So this is where you can find him once a week. I know you talked about before the show doing some other stuff, but maybe switching up the schedule, but you'll let everybody know. So if you need to follow me,
there'll be a new banner if we do switch to Wednesdays. So for sure.
Okay. And I love that you've been
do you like that?
Curating your logo over the years ever since we've met. And I do. I like it a lot. I think I'm
going to keep that one. And even if I change the time, that's the only thing that'll change.
Okay.
I like that one.
There's been a couple of different ones, and I'm like, it gets more. I think initially we start off with anonymity because we're like, oh, we don't want anybody, and then the more you get into it, you're like, I don't really care. Like, I want people to know that I like doing this show and I like talking about football. And so you embrace it, which is really cool.
Yeah.
It looks good.
ChatGPT made that, and I'm going to keep it. I like it.
Love it. So let's get in. So the whole point of this, you and I getting on here is to we try to connect at least once or two or three times a year. We talk via text message, social media about other stuff. But the whole point was like, let's put a bow on the NFL draft, right? Like, it's done. And there's been some free agent signings and all this stuff. And now we're going to get into all these other scheduling of OTAs and rookie camps and whatever. And so we're going to sit here and go through. I don't think we have to go through everything. But we can get it through as much as we want to. So we're going to go through the draft grades that I gave for the first round, and then for the teams, and then we got the superlatives that we did.
I love it.
Which I'm just like people
I
like.
like how you set up my team. They did get a kicker. I was actually excited about the kicker because I was like, if we're not going to fire, I was ticked after that playoff game. I was like, if you're not going to fire anybody, at least fire the freaking kicker.
Yeah.
So they put him on watch. I was actually.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
21-3, and our kicker missed 2 field goals and an extra point. But really, I put that loss. People want to blame Love. He had a great game. Bad third quarter. I put the loss on the defense and the coach. But you know
left?
what?
Tucked his tail and left.
Yeah,
coward.
The defensive coordinator did.
Couldn't face music.
The first 16 picks.
Yep.
I love your grade for Sadiq. He's somebody I'm targeting in Dynasty.
Oh my gosh, he's going to be a freak show.
If there's anywhere for Ty Simpson to land, it's there.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I don't get why, if Mekhi Lemon was available and you needed a receiver and you hit corner.
Especially what's going on with Puka.
And Devontae's getting older.
Yeah.
Your team is tailor-made to go after Seattle. If there's one position you need.
One team that can beat Seattle.
I agree. And it's hard to repeat.
The 49ers beat Seattle first game of the year. Brock Purdy, no big deal. Game-winning drive late in the game. minute left. People forget.
I think an NFC North team could ascend. I don't know if it's my Packers. If Micah gets healthy, maybe. Chicago's going to be tough. Detroit had a good draft. I don't trust Minnesota at all. They got Kyler Murray. I don't know.
So we're looking at the top 16 picks here on the screen. If you can't see it on the screen on the podcast, obviously you're listening to it. All we've got is our draft grades, the first 16 picks of the 2026 NFL draft. We're just kind of looking at these things, and I'm getting his opinion from we'll just
The Mendoza grade I agree with because the problem is they didn't draft a receiver, and I've got Beck actually.
They have no receivers. They're like, hey, we brought over Jalen Naylor, and I'm like, okay, the third or fourth receiver for the last 3 years in Minnesota. Are you kidding me? Sorry, that's not a weapon.
I love their draft. Other than they didn't get a receiver, they got a running back in the 4th to play behind. Oh God, what's his name from last year?
Ginty.
Behind Ginty, you got Brock Bowers.
Yeah,
all you needed to do, grab a receiver early in the second round.
Any of them.
That was my big thing with their draft.
They drafted Malik Benson late. That was in the 6th round.
I know, man.
They went all deep. They had a really good free agency too. Like they brought over the center from Linderbaum. Like they made a bunch of good moves in the offseason. So, but I think with this.
Sorry, go ahead. You're good. My bad.
Kubiak, right? Kubiak is an offensive genius, and we've seen offensive geniuses do stupid things in drafts. Like Shanahan, what are you doing? McVay. I know you can say that wasn't part of your pick, but my gosh, you're drafting a quarterback in the first round that's only played 15 games. Like you've seen these offensive geniuses are like, hey, we can just plug and play anybody. So I think that was part of the reason why they may not think they need receivers. You know what I mean?
I think so, and I think that this is going to be a 2-year rebuild. I actually like Mendoza. If they can fix that receiver room, that's going to be huge. So I like your grade because it's more of a team building thing, but I do like him as a player. I'm with you on Bailey. I like him. My dad likes Reese more. I like Bailey. The Cardinal Tate one, I really like that landing spot. They needed a receiver.
I like the landing spot. He just wasn't the number one receiver on his own team in college.
Yeah, so it's interesting how the Titans had a hell of a free agency, though.
They have
a draft. The Love pick, I'm with you because I love that. You know what? To be honest, even though they signed Algier, they needed a damn running back. I think this kid's going to be spectacular. If they can,
he's going to be phenomenal.
If they can build up an O-line, I see the talent, and he looked like a top 5 pick to me.
He's phenomenal.
I love it. I love it.
He had 19 touchdowns of 20-plus yards or more, and there was like only I think there was maybe somebody. It was like Christian McCaffrey or Jahmyr Gibbs or somebody's the only like he's in that echelon of like explosive plays. And like, well, they didn't play anybody. I'm like, well, then why has anybody else done it? Like, right?
This isn't the 27 draft, but there was some talent on defense. Next year, the offensive talent is stupid. It's going to be a freaking awesome draft. But I still think you're going to get 2 of these receivers panning out. Some of my favorite picks in the top 16, Sonny Styles, the Cowboys. I thought might trade
You
up
like
for him.
Sonny Styles?
I love him.
Okay, all right. I got some pushback on it. Like you put a draft grade up there and people think you've done some. I just watched the draft and
No, you can't give A's to everybody.
No,
but I do like him. I question the landing spot because Washington D seems to always suck. Like
they've gotten
perpetually.
rid of a lot of their age. From when somebody called me out on that, and I was like, they're old. And then I went back and looked. I'm like, well, they've kind of gotten rid of a lot of people. They're still trying to figure out what to do with Bobby Wagner, but
I've got him in Dynasty, and him and Sonny Styles together. I think it's going to be fun. I
love the Ravens pick. I love the Ravens pick. Vega Ione, the guard, like that is the most Ravens pick. They always have a big like Samoan American somewhere in the trenches. It's like I look back like, it just cracks me up.
I do too. I got to focus more on offensive line. I thought Sadiq made a lot of sense for the Ravens, but you know what? They did need offensive linemen. They lost Likely, and Andrews is getting older. Yeah. And they've already had issues with him in the
Lamar loves the tight end, dude.
So I'm like, Sadiq just felt like a natural fit, but you're right. That guard for Derrick Henry is going to be great.
Yeah.
If there was one team for Ty Simpson to land on, to learn behind Stafford and McVay makes a lot of sense. We just talked about it. I don't get why you didn't get a tight end or a receiver. Like Sadiq and Lemon were there for you. And I know you got Cowboys buddies. One of my favorite picks in all of this, and I know I've talked about some good ones. But Fano is not bad. It was just the wrong tackle. Not sure what the Dolphins are doing. You get Malik Willis, get weapons. You let Jalen Waddle go. They effed up.
They drafted a project tackle.
They still have a lot of picks. I don't know about the Chiefs spending that much draft capital to move up for a corner, but they did get their guy.
They got him.
They got him. He's good. Tyson could be solid with the Saints. Shuck showed more potential than I thought last year, surprisingly. Yeah. So you never know. He could be good. The receivers are a little iffy this draft, but you never know. Caleb Downs to the Cowboys was a freaking perfect fit. And that was absolutely spot on.
Strike that from the record. Strike it from the record. We hate the Cowboys.
I do hate the Cowboys. I'm not sure about the Malachi.
They can have a great draft. Once they step on campus, though, it doesn't matter. They can have a great draft, but once you get into Jerry World, it's over. It doesn't matter. Sorry.
I'm going to try to draft that kid in Dynasty to be my safety because I need one. I grabbed. Yeah, he's going to be good. The Malachi Lawrence one, I'm not as huge on, but they doubled down and got 3 edges in this draft in the first 4 rounds.
Well, that's the Mike Black Hole effect.
And they trade for Gary.
Yeah. They made a lot of they made a lot of smart moves.
They did.
But then again, the season starts and it's comedy hour. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, I know. They'll be.
I have no other way to there's nothing else to go by other than it's just a complete calamity and comedy hour whenever they snap the football. They'll slide with 5 seconds left when you need to spike the ball. Like Dak Prescott will jump out of bounds at the 1 yard line for a 2-point conversion. Like they'll do something. It's like, Stephen A. Smith says all the time, when you think that they've got it figured out, something will happen. It's just that's Cowboys. I
agree.
The grade that I love Ruben Bain just from the fact that the reason I gave him an A- because he just walked right up to the podium during the draft, grabbed the hat, and didn't even do anything. He just walked out there and didn't stop to look at the camera or anything. He just walked right by it. Doesn't give a rip. I'm like, that guy is a football guy right now.
They needed that. They need to rebuild on defense. I'm just concerned about Baker, but they had a heck of a draft. I like a lot of these grades. The Ty Simpson one made no sense to me. I think it was a reach. Could work, but I don't get it. I know you need to replace Stafford. That felt like a reach when you had needs. I don't understand it. The Browns, interesting selection. I agree with you. Tyson, a lot of depends on Shuck too. But I'm with you on a lot of these.
There was a reason I gave him a C. I can't remember why. Something didn't sit right with me.
The Tate one's interesting. I like the tape on him. A lot of it's going to come down to the QB Ward, who's starting to flash a little bit near the end of last year. I like
Ward. I think he did some things last year. I was like, oh, okay.
Not bad. They've rebuilt the receiver room pretty quick. They drafted 2 last year. Bring in Wan'Dale Robinson. Bring him in. They re-signed Ridley on a cheap
I don't
deal.
like they got rid of Chig. I used to love Chig Okonkwo. I thought he was a freak.
Yeah,
I think where's he at?
That was
That's gonna drive me nuts.
I can't remember where.
I was kind of like, oh, that's a fun place for him to land.
Washington.
Oh, that's fun. Like Jaden Daniels loves the tight end.
And Ertz is getting older, and I don't know what they're going to do with him. So, yeah, I'm with you on the top 16. On the back end,
there you go. Here's the back end.
I like the Lions
first round picks from the bottom from the second half of the 16 teams in the NFL. We got them flashing on the screen right now. Our draft grades are out. We'll try to call out the draft grades.
I like that you gave the Cowboys a D.
Hey, look, give a little, take a little. I gave you an A, you get a D because that's a reach. You could have had what's the Akeem Mesidor, dude. You could have taken Akeem Mesidor. I liked him, or maybe no, wait. They could have traded up. Yes, because I gave him a D because they traded the damn pick to the Eagles. Remember?
Yeah. Did you hear about that?
They were the 20th pick, and then they traded back, and then somebody, the Chargers took Akeem Mesidor. I'm like, you could have taken him.
The rumor is that somebody in the Steelers that they knew from Mike McCarthy, their former coach, who left to go to the Steelers. They had people, and the Steelers said, "Hey, we're going to take Mekhi Lemon." And they were, I don't even know if they were talking trade, but they knew what the Steelers were going to do. And despite McCarthy, they called up the Eagles, their division rival, and they said, "Hey, the Steelers are going to take Lemon. Do this trade with us." And the Cowboys landed 2 fourths to go 3 back to spite the Steelers and their former coach.
That's something Jerry would do.
It is something Jerry would do. I think that where there's smoke, there's fire on this one. And I completely buy it. And I kind of love it. I don't love the pick, but I love that they got 2 more picks. They needed them. And they landed a pretty solid edge in the 4th. And we'll talk about that later. But
yeah,
okay, from the top down, like the Lions pick, they needed a tackle. What the heck? I would have gone D on the Vikings. You had Thieneman available, and I would have gone. Honestly, I could have gone even higher on him. The tape I've seen on him and Harrison Smith is in his late 30s. That is a perfect fit for your team. You need a Harrison Smith replacement.
Yes.
And you let him fall to a division rival? I give you an F. Yes. F. Freeling, solid pick. I like the Mekhi Lemon pick because I think AJ Brown's gone. I don't know what the Eagles are doing. But I like that pick.
Dude, the Panthers, by the way, they've had some really good drafts. Their receiver room is huge. All their receivers.
I don't get. He's not on the Brazel pick, but you took Tet, and you got Coker. I liked what they did. They went offensive and defensive tackle the first 2 picks, and then they landed Brazel, who I thought was solid actually in the 3rd.
You could put
this team might win the South again, man.
Yeah, I would put money on them to win the South. Absolutely. So, but anyways, go ahead. We were talking about.
I like the Conception pick. He's somebody I might land at 6 in my dynasty. Mesidor, good pick for the Chargers. They had a decent draft. I'm with you on Price, but I'm hoping he pans out. They needed a running back. They grabbed Wilson, but Charbonnet is banged up. Wilson's more of a depth guy. I'm betting he's going to start right away. Titans landed Falk was interesting. Decent pick. The Woods pick I do like for the Chiefs. I'm with you. I like it more than the other one.
Yeah.
I still don't know if the Chiefs make the playoffs this year because I don't know if Mahomes is going to come back off that ACL quick.
They're saying that he's projected to.
OTAs
and look, I deal with ACL tears. Like I've seen people, and I know they're elite athletes, but I'm like, I've gone through it.
That's right. You're a trainer. You're a trainer, right?
Yeah, physical therapist. So I rehab people back from, and like every time somebody tears their ACL. Now, quarterback's different because he doesn't have to cut and run like a running back or coming off an Achilles or an ACL or a wide receiver. He's not required to have that change of direction. Like he can get back there and use his brain more than anything, which I don't think is necessarily what makes him him. You know what I mean? Like what makes him him is, his shifty little mobility in the pocket, his ability to run whenever plays break down, especially against man coverage. So like, I think he'll still be able to do those things, but I think their offense is going to be different. And most times people, they come back, like everybody's going to get on the internet and on the airwaves and be like, "Oh, Pat Mahomes, he's a freak of nature." I'm like, no. He's not having to run through and do spin moves and cut and make, turn on a dime. Like if he comes back, it won't be some miraculous thing for me because he doesn't have to do what all these other skill position players do. He'll be able to do a lot of it without much challenge on his leg for the most part.
I like that. I agree.
You see what I'm saying? Like, he'll get back.
He'll get back. I just don't know if it'll be like they still
most
have.
of the time you look at the second year when somebody has an injury like that. You see it all the time, dude. Like, it's people are like, oh, Tony Pollard, he's dead. And I'm like, no, he fractured his ankle like less than a year ago. Now he's got his jump and his speed back. I'm not saying he's great, but people are like, oh, he's cooked. I'm like, no, he just, it happens all the time. But anyways.
Yeah, that's why I was shocked Tatum came back so quick off the ACL. They're starting to figure it out in basketball, but they sat him yesterday because
it all depends on where you tear it.
They were like they saw a calf strain exactly, and how quick you get the surgery, and then how you dedicate to rehab, and part of it's just your body and how it responds.
Yeah. So yeah, I love the Bears pick. The Texans made a good pick.
By the way, I like that. I like your breakdown on ACLs. That was good.
Oh, well, I love whenever people get up there, like, the Stephen A. Smiths and the First Takes and the Colin Cowherd, and they start spouting off about injuries. And I'm like, you don't know jack diddly poo about nothing. Like,
no.
Then they'll get up there when he starts week 2 or 3 and or week 4, whatever it is. And they'll be like, this guy's it's never been seen. I'm like, no. He's not getting in the hole and having to make a cut on a dime and make a lateral jump cut. Like, he's just going to be able to shift and move around. You know what I mean? But anyways,
I can't even do Stephen A anymore. I listen to Bill Simmons and some of the stuff from The Ringer. I can't do the ESPN. I go on this site. I refuse to listen to him. I used to listen to First Take, and I feel like I graduated and listen to better media now.
Agreed.
Still biased. He's a big Boston guy, but really quick, because I've got about 15 minutes.
Yep.
And this, man, we got to do this again, really seriously, like in May.
Love it.
I don't know what the Dolphins are doing. I don't hate Chris Johnson, though. I just thought there were other positions. There was receiver, but I focus too much on skill position, but I feel like they get Malik Willis. I don't know, but not a terrible player.
I don't expect anything from the Dolphins.
Yeah. I like the Texans pick. They needed offensive line help. That was a good one. I like the Steelers pick. They also need offensive line help, and they went out and got another receiver. So if Rodgers comes back, they could be, a 9-win team once again. Yeah, I'm with you on the Malachi Lawrence. I thought that was a little bit of a reach. The Jared Price might have been a little bit of a reach, but they needed they needed a running back. Solid picks in the back half here too. The Patriots got they needed somebody to protect.
Why does Buffalo keep trading with everybody in their division, in their rivals?
I don't know.
Are they idiots?
I don't know.
I don't get it. I don't know what they're doing.
You better hope DJ still has him in the tank, because they needed a receiver, and while I like him, I don't know. They've got a lot of talent in Chicago, but I thought he was starting to fade last year.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Maybe he's got more left in the tank and he wants to prove it. Okay, so that's my team, right?
Here's the team grades, right? So I didn't trade. These are not ranked in any order. They're just, I put the grades on there. So I've got the teams. We graded every single team, right?
Okay.
So you can come through, kind of come through there. The Raiders,
I like that Raiders. The Raiders grade, I agree. If McCoy can get back off these nasty injuries, that could go up to an A. The only thing that keeps it from being an A+, I disagree with the Ringer, and I've seen A+ around, is they needed a receiver younger, but they did have some damn good picks, and they had a lot of holes.
Yes. So they win a lot of defense, and
the Jets.
They only drafted one. That was why I gave them. That's why they only drafted one offensive line, but I guess they did do that in free agency. So, but yeah, the Jets. Go ahead.
David Bailey and Sadiq and Omar Cooper in the first.
What a freak show. A+.
And then Pons.
Yeah.
I don't know about the depth, so I'd go like A-, but that could end up being an A+. I love the Jets, what they did. Sadiq, I think, is going to be great. They still need a QB, but honestly, they didn't reach for a QB. They took one in the 4th, and the QBs are next year. You'll have your chance next year. They didn't reach for it. I like it. They took one in the 4th round late after they got a defensive tackle. They grabbed a guard late and a safety late, but they hit positions they needed. I love it. I'm with you on the Cardinals.
And
I love Jarrett My Love, dude. But I'm with you. The Cardinals get a C. I don't know. They grabbed a guard.
You didn't draft any defense. Their defense was awful.
What are they doing?
I don't know what they're doing.
They grabbed Carson Beck. What is?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
I don't know.
See,
maybe their offense is good. Maybe.
I don't know. They're also the thing that the scenario that I played was like you're in a division with the 49ers, the Rams, and the Seahawks.
Yeah,
You are by far the worst team. You have no shot over the next couple of years.
absolutely.
Take the best players. Like it doesn't matter what your scheme is. You're going to get absolutely throttled for the next like 3 to 4 years.
Probably. The 49ers figure out a way to be decent. The Rams, as long as they have Stafford, are going to be good. And the Seahawks, I think they'll come back down a little bit. They did lose some pieces, but they're going to be a tough team. It's just really hard to repeat.
Their coach is good. Like you got 3 of the best coaches in the NFL in that division. That's the problem. Like, anyways.
The Titans had an interesting draft. I might have gone B-. I like Tate a little more than you.
Okay.
Falk was interesting. The Hill pick was okay. And then they had no picks in the 3rd and 4th. But like you said, they built around Cam and they kept hitting defense. They got an edge and a linebacker, kind of like those picks.
I love their center that they took late, Pat Coogan. That guy's played a gajillion games.
Yes, and they grabbed a depth running back in the 5th. They needed one earlier.
Yeah.
But you know what? It just comes down to Tate. Is he going to pan out? We're going to find out.
True.
When you pick that high, the 4th pick overall has got to be good.
Yeah. Giants, I like the Giants draft.
I felt like Tate would seem like a solid floor guy. I wonder what his ceiling is.
True. That's a good point. So I bet you Cam Ward was like, give me that guy. Because you had to ask your quarterback probably. Who do you like?
He reminds me of Ted. I think he could be. We're going to find out. Mm-hmm. Not insanely fast, but I like the ball. I liked you nailed it. He didn't look like a number 1 at times on his team. That's fair. He really wasn't. But I see some talent, and I'm not even like this draft wasn't like the best draft I've ever seen for receivers, but that was the one guy of the top 3 between Lemon and names eluding me. Tyson, right?
Tyson, yeah, Tyson, Jordan.
I thought he had the highest. I thought he had the highest floor of those 3. So we're gonna see.
I like him because he's a pretty big dude too, isn't he? He's a pretty big guy. Like
it's just gonna depend. Like those big guys sometimes pan out, and sometimes they don't have the quickness. So we're gonna find out. That's what the concern was with Tet, and he looks like he's gonna hit. Okay, just for sake of time, just because
go ahead.
I feel bad. I got plans. I could do this all day though.
Yes.
Giants. I like it. They traded Lawrence away. Had a freaking fun draft.
Love it.
Really, really enjoyed their draft. They did some stuff, man. They're one of the highest of any of the teams. Grabbed Reese. I can't even say the tackle's name, from Mayoga or whatever, from Miami. Then you get Hood. Then you get Fields.
Yeah.
Then you get a tackle like that draft.
They're making the playoffs if they're healthy.
Chiefs, I do like their top 2 picks. I feel like they've got a lot of needs, though. Chiefs fans don't want to admit there's a reason they missed the playoffs last year. So
yes,
Sadiq was there, but I do like their picks. I'm with you on the Commanders. Seahawks, it's going to depend, or sorry, not Seahawks, Saints. It's going to depend on, does Tyson hit?
Yes.
100%. And is Shuck your quarterback?
Yes.
And he showed a lot more than I thought he had last year.
Yes.
Browns, dude, the Browns might have had the best draft of anybody.
They had a great draft, didn't they?
Conception, Boston.
Yep.
McNeil Warren. That tackle, but Fano could be pretty good. McNeil Warren. You grab another tackle. You double down on tackle and receiver, knowing your defense is set pretty much. You grab the safety though, but there's some spots. But if Shedeur has anything, they didn't reach for a QB. If Shedeur has anything, they take a QB late or Watson, then you are freaking set because you got the receivers and you got Judkins at running back and you got Joku. So now you hit receiver and you still Judy. Love this.
They have Harold Fannin too. Harold Fannin was a guy that I drafted everywhere.
And Fannin.
Love
Dude,
Fannin.
You got Fannin and Judkins, and if either of these receivers hit or both, it's ready made for a QB. This is the way you build because now all you need is the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And you got a lot of the pieces around. You got to build the interior of offensive line. That's a need. But you hit 2 receivers. God, that's it. Just maybe one more receiver next year. I love that.
Yep.
Okay.
Cincinnati, I think Cincinnati's going to. Cincy's going to win the AFC North. By the way,
they might. Mm-hmm. They really might.
Mm-hmm.
We should do a part 2 of this next week or something. That's when you get back from your vacation because I feel bad because I got to bounce in a few. But the Cowboys, I honestly would probably go A-. I love it if Lawrence hits. They grabbed an edge in from Michigan. They grabbed another one in the 4th because they hauled up and got 2 more picks from Alabama. They get 3 edges and got Rashawn Gary
Yes.
to help replace, Micah, who saved my team last year.
I couldn't give him an A, dude. I couldn't give him an A.
I know. I love
put on
Downs.
paper.
Dude, Downs, I freaking love him, man.
I love Caleb. Oh, yeah. He's going to be a freak. He's going to be an anchor there.
He was a top 4 overall on my board, and they got him at 11.
Yeah.
You could argue top 5.
Yeah.
But damn, dude, love that pick. Bucks had a good draft. I like their draft a lot. Bain and then Trotter, and then you got Hurst. Now you've got a receiver room that I love. Who else? Browns were great. Dolphins. I mean, they had a lot of picks.
They had the most picks in the draft. They drafted Jacob Rodriguez. They drafted Michael Taffy from Texas. They drafted a bunch of dudes who have played a lot of football. You could tell what Hafley's trying to do there.
I kind of like the Chris Bell pick at receiver.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Douglas was okay. They got 2 third-rounders. The biggest thing is Proctor has got to be good. I did like the Chris Johnson pick. I'd probably go B minus. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah. I think they should hit hopefully you got to hope that one of those receivers pans. Rams, I'm with you. Falcons, I'm with you. Vikings, I'm going to get into in a minute. I thought their draft sucked, but I like this. This is good.
Do you want to keep going or do you want to do a part 2 next week? You got to go. I'm fine either way.
Let's do part 2 because I do have a boogie. I have to boogie, but I'm going to hit my Packers really quick.
Go ahead.
In the NFC North. I got like 5 minutes. I feel so bad. I had so much stuff I want to talk to you about. I know I'm going fast. No, Packers get a corner that I like, but he's going to have to be an impact guy now. But the edge, I've heard great things about, better than our guy last year from Penn State. And they doubled down to get McClellan after they get Hargrave because they let Colby Wood go. And then you have Wyatt. They have 3 big guys coming off ACL. A lot of it's going to depend on how healthy Micah and Kraft are. And then defensive linemen's coming off an ACL. So that's going to be a lot of their draft was they traded Micah away for 2 firsts.
Yeah.
You know what? Just the players they picked. They get a kicker, corner. They got 2 corners. They needed to hit more offensive line help, but I liked everything I heard about the corner from South Carolina, Cisse.
He's a physical dude.
And the McClellan, I've heard solid things about, and the edge. So you know what? Yeah, I'd probably go high C.
I told you
E or B minus. I was trying to be, unbiased. So
I told you before the show, I'm like, the Packers, this is a very Packers draft.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not flashy. They draft for depth. They like to develop their defensive players. Like it's exactly what the Packers do every time. Last year was an anomaly, and they're probably scared now because Golden, I don't know if he's going to, I don't know what his deal is. I know he was hurt last year.
I agree.
I don't know.
I don't know when you get back from vacation, but I'm free next Sunday. So let me know.
Okay. What about the Niners? Come on. You can rant about the Niners for a minute or two. Come on now. That's my team, obviously. And also the Vikings are idiots. Let's just go ahead and say that.
Oh, the Vikings are idiots. Okay, so the 49ers, I forgot about them because I don't know what they do.
Of course you forgot about it.
Okay, you took the receiver in the second, and then
we traded out of the first round twice.
Dude, what are you doing?
I don't know, dude.
I don't like the draft.
They said Kalen Black was their second best running back on the board.
I might go. What'd you give him?
A D?
Yeah. The Ringer game was C minus. I saw C's. I might go D. And the Vikings had one of the dumbest drafts. I think they're going to live to regret it because the Packers had, for not having a decent draft, to get a B for a lot of experts to give you in the B's without a first. I love it. The Lions had a solid draft and the Bears did too. So the Vikings are falling behind. It's kind of like the NFC West. There's going to be a bottom feeder, and I don't believe in Kyler Murray, so it might be the Vikings. And then, dude, your 49ers, I don't know, man. Sorry, bud.
Well, it's the same. It's like they're always like, we have our own draft board. And I'm like, but you've missed on so many draft picks. So eventually you got to do something different, man.
Yeah.
And he's just such a good coach. It doesn't matter. Like they made the playoffs and won a playoff game with nobody.
I agree,
That's the problem.
So we got to talk more on this because I could go way more in depth. We're gonna do a part 2.
We will.
But
we'll do part 2. I appreciate you coming on. Let me flash your stuff up here one more time. Everybody, go follow Isaac the Fun Football Podcast. Download. I don't know if you release. Do you still just do you do the downloads with Spotify anymore? Or no.
Not in a while. I'll start doing it again this season though. I need to.
But
I know it wasn't just you. Other people were asking me about it, so I'll start doing it again.
Oh, that's why I listen to my shows. Like I have my shows that I listen to, and
Me too.
Anyways.
That's actually how I do it too, in the car. So I get it.
All right, let me hold on. Whoops. I'm gonna play some outro music, man. Anything else you got to say? I appreciate you coming on. I know this was a tight squeeze, but
No, it's my bad. I have plans, but no, we'll do it again soon.
no, it's not. No, it's not your bad. I'm glad. I'm appreciative, man. Everybody. You know what? Because I could talk more football. We don't want it dead.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll text you later. We'll talk about next weekend. Okay.
All right. See you, man.
See you, dude.